going on, guys? Coach Colin podcast. You know what it is. It's for people who feel like they're not expressing their true potential. Let's get into it. Today I'm talking about self-compassion. So self-compassion has been something that I've been dealing with for a long time, unknowingly for a long time. But in the past year, I've been examining it. I've been seeing it more because I'm married now. I have a wife, and she kind of clues into these things, And there's been times she's gotten real upset, not with the way I treat her, but with the way I treat myself, which is mark of a good woman and also the mark of a little bit of dysfunction in myself, right? So I've been addressing it. And as I started addressing it, I really started noticing that it plays a really big part of who I've been and the things that I've been striving for. You might find yourself, if you're lacking self-compassion, I'll just go over myself. I talked about in the Open Brother Project, always doing many things, overachieving to a certain extent. All these things are a means to show accomplishment and a means to get validation through the accomplishments rather than just loving yourself, right? Like you don't love, insert any person that you love unconditionally. You don't love them based on their accomplishments. You love them based on who they are. And when you practice self-compassion, you're practicing that type of love for yourself. Loving yourself, not based on the accomplishments, but based on just who you are as a person. You're meeting your own needs in terms of love, because you need love from other people. You need to show love to other people, but you also need to have that type of love for yourself. It's essential. So I'll just get right into what I did. What I had to do, what I was told to do by my coach. I'm a coach. I got a coach. A dentist. He has a dentist, or he's disgusting, right? So I was told by my coach, suggested to externalize it. Externalize. The way that I'll put it, if I had to teach it to somebody, externalize the part of yourself that needs that unconditional love, that nurturing, that care. Now, I know, guys, that this sounds like some soft shit, but it's needed. It's needed. Because you gotta have that hardness to you. You gotta be able to defend yourself. You gotta be able to defend your family, but you also gotta be able to love yourself, love your family. They're one and the same. The reason that you want to protect is because of the love you have, and the reason that you'll be able to protect yourself from yourself, almost from your own self-criticism, is because of that same love. It's necessary. You need it. So I'll say I externalize that part of yourself that needs that unconditional love. Now, what I did, and what I think most guys should do, because it really kind of puts it in perspective, I externalized that part of myself as a child. Now, in my coaching session, I won't get into it too much, but we were talking about when I was younger and all the things that I lacked and the abuse that I went through and different things of that nature. So we realized that there was a baby Colin that needed that love and that nurturing that he never received. So what I did was I externalized it as baby Colin, right? And every time I have a unrational fear or an unrational anger towards myself for messing up or for not delivering or for not doing what I know I could do, doing all that I know I could do. Whenever I had that, and believe me, for myself, I have it quite a bit, quite like a lot. I shouldn't even say quite a bit. It's a fuck ton. So every time I have that now, I think of that kid and how I would address that kid. Like, how would you address, let's say you externalize it as the child self, the child of you, the English? I don't know English. I'm not good at English. I'm good at coaching. The child version of yourself. There you go. So picture that kid, and picture that kid messes up. What would you do to that kid? Would you pick him up and shake him? Would you say, come on, man, what the fuck? Let's fucking go. Come on. You're better than this. Would you do that to a kid? No. And if you said yes just now, you're a fucking monster. I don't know what to do with you. We'll work on it, actually. Keep coming back to the channel. We'll work on it. We'll work through that shit. But most people, you'd look at the kid and you'd say, don't worry. It's okay. You did the best you could. Don't worry. Everybody goes through it. No, don't worry. There's no need. You don't got to cry. It's okay. I know you're upset. You would do all the things that you would know to do because you're in the position of the adult to the child. You know? For yourself, you have to get into that same position. That's why I like externalizing it like a child. Because now when I have those irrational fears, I step in as the adult, as the authority of myself. And I say, hey, don't even worry. We're good. We're good. You don't even have to be afraid of that. What is it? What's wrong? Don't worry, I'm here. I protect us now. Okay? I'll protect you. Right? If you were in a dark room with a kid, or some kid who's afraid of the dark or afraid of something in the closet, you wouldn't go, man, just look in the fucking closet. What are you doing? You would look at that kid and you'd go, hey, what are you afraid of? Oh, there's something. Hey, listen, hey, relax. There's nothing in there. Here. Oh, don't worry. I got you. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Look, there's nothing in there. You have nothing to be afraid of. So, I'll keep it short, but I just wanted to kind of give people that method of being compassionate towards themselves. Because as men, it's really, really hard to be compassionate to ourselves. You put a little baby girl in front of a father and he knows to be very gentle and soft and compassionate. You put his little boy in front of him, he knows to be very soft. You put his wife in front of him, he knows that he has to be a little softer. But if he looks in the mirror, when he looks in the mirror, he's like, this fuck needs to step it up. Like my buddy Rob, he had a thing, like I was doing push-ups. Another lack of self-compassion. I'm doing push-ups. I'm trying to get through it. I'm on I think it was 150. And I'm trying to get that last couple. And I'm like, come on, you fucking do it. Fucking do it. And he looks at me and he's like, what? He's like, what did you say? And I thought he kind of got like that because he thought I was talking to him. But he realized that I was talking to myself. And he kind of broke it down for him. He's like, when you're doing stuff like this, when you're doing really hard things in life, you got to be your best friend. You got to talk to yourself like you're your best friend. Because in reality, I know you got friends, you got wives, you got kids, you got siblings, but in reality, you are your best friend. And you know how to be a friend. You know how to be a brother. You know how to be there for somebody. You got to be there for yourself the exact same way. So externalize it. Think of it as that kid version of yourself. Or if you have kids, think, what would I tell my son? I have another friend who told me one time, he was like, he's like, the way I get through things, the way I get through life, the way I get up and get off my ass and do things. He's like, I say, what would I tell my son to do? So he's like, if I feel like not doing something, if I feel like, not getting off my ass, if I feel like not reading this or doing that, he goes, what would I tell my son to do? And you would tell your son, and the reason I bring that up is not for the push, but you would tell your son the best possible thing he needs to hear. But we don't do that with ourselves. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we should have done better, that we're lazy, that we're soft, that we need to harden up, we need to toughen up, we're acting like a bitch. You don't have to be like that with yourself. You shouldn't be like that with yourself. You know, if you wouldn't say it to your son, or even like if I'm talking to men, if you wouldn't say it to your daughter, if you wouldn't say it to your little baby daughter who's like 3 years old, 4 years old, if you wouldn't say it to her, don't say it to yourself. You have to be good to yourself. And like I just told one of my clients, look up what compassion means. Look it up. I'm not going to say it. Look it up. Look up self and look up compassion and see what it means. And ask yourself if you're really being that way to yourself on a daily basis. And if you are, mazel, good job. Look at you. But if you're not, start externalizing that part of yourself that needs it, because everybody has a part of themselves that needs it. Start externalizing that part of yourself that needs it and start being compassionate. As you know, there's going to be a link in the description. It's going to be a link to my Calendly. You're going to be able to set up an appointment with me, a discovery call. It's completely free. All we do is, we talk about you. We flush some things out. Maybe you need help in certain areas. Maybe you're not sure where you need help. Maybe there's things that are holding you back. And I'll help you flush those things out and we'll go from there. But the link is in the description. Other than that, I hope that you're compassionate to yourself. And I got to get out of here. I got another job to do. I'm not dressed like this for no reason. All right. I'm out. Coach Colin. Peace.